February Revolution 1917. Background factors. Autocracy under the Tsar. He was resistant and fearful of change, inexperienced, easily led on by ministers, arrogant and distant from his people. The size of the empire led to problems of communication systems and poor transport. Ethnic diversity in the empire, with Finns, Ukrainians, Poles and Muslims. The problem of national minorities wanting greater independence and their anger at the policy of Russification. Economic backwardness. Peasantry had backward farming methods with low productivity. The urban working class had poor living and working conditions. Political frustrations. Non-revolutionary, who were opposed to violence, and the revolutionary believed in a violent overthrow of the Tsar. The non-revolutionaries were the Octoberists, who were content with the October Manifesto, and the cadets who saw the October Manifesto as the first step in political reform. The revolutionaries split between the social revolutionaries, who believed in a peasant-led revolution and the setting up of a commune system, and the social democrats, who believed in a Marxist revolution. They were split between the Mensheviks, who believed in a Marxist revolution at some time in the future, but in the meantime believed in working with other parties to alleviate the condition of the working classes, and the Bolsheviks, who believed in a Marxist revolution as soon as possible without cooperation with other parties. Military impact of World War I. There was 14 million mobilized. Major social upheaval caused by such mass mobilization. There was early defeats at Tannenberg and Masurian Lakes. Casualties by 1915 were 2 million dead and 5 million injured. Shortages by 1915 was the artillery was limited to 2 to 3 shells per day. Economic impact of World War I. The lack of management in the administrative committee led to shortages. Impact on the countryside. Conscription took horses and fit workers, which reduced productivity, and peasants began hoarding grain. Impact on towns. An influx of new workers in Petrograd led to shortages of food and fuel, which led to higher prices. Samgor. They had limited effectiveness and were frustrated at their limited role. Social impact of World War I. Impact on the peasantry. Young and healthy workers were conscripted. Impact on the middle classes. Frustration at lack of involvement. Impact on the landed classes. The value of land reduced. Political impact of World War I. Actions of the Tsar. His closure of the Duma in 1915 increased frustration of the middle classes who wanted to help with the war effort, which led to a collapse in public confidence. The Progressive Bloc, which was formed in 1915 by ex-Duma members, wanted a say in the running of the war. Milyukov, leader of the cadets, says in 1916 that Tsarist policies are either stupid or treason. Union of Towns and Union of Zemstvos begin trying to organize military supplies. Tsar's unwillingness to work with the Zemgor to deal with the problems caused by the war. Tsar became commander-in-chief, so he took sole blame for military disasters and isolated from the events of Petrograd. He left the Tsarina in charge of the country. She was German and suspected of being a spy. This increased when she appointed Boris Sturmer as Prime Minister in 1916, as he was unpopular and generally regarded as pro-German. There was rumours of an affair with Rasputin, which led to his murder by Prince Yusupov in December 1916. There was frequent ministerial changes, with 15 different ministerial changes in a year, which led to political instability, such as 5 ministers of the interior. There was a growth in literacy, part of a long-term trend, which helped corrode the myth of Tsarist autocracy. The war had served to reveal the anarchistic nature of the regime. The Spark. Events of February 1917. 23rd of February, a combination of a strike at the Pool of Steel Works and an International Women's Day march led to street demonstrations over food and fuel prices. There was a breakdown in military discipline, with 170,000 soldiers beginning to mingle with the demonstrators. They were ordered to fire on the demonstrators, but the army refused, which led to the Tsar to abdicate on the 3rd of March. This signalled the fall of Tsarism. The 27th of February began the formation of the Petrograd Soviet, which was elected into power. By the end of 1917, 1,500 Soviets were spread throughout Russia.